Good evening, seniors, family, esteemed colleagues. I have to give a special shout out to Team Straz. They're my little island of misfit toys. They've been with me for 4 years. They've become like a family, and I think we're gonna stay that way even when they fly out of the nest. So, and Livy, I'm counting on you if this thing goes off like it has at every event we've had so far to just do a second rendition of the national anthem for us. So, you guys are quite a class, and before I talk about you, we have some incredible staff members who are leaving along with you this year, like Miss Adams, Miss Boardman, Mr. Phibbs, and of course Mr. Stevens. So let's give them a round of applause. You could look at this mass exodus one of two ways. Either they can't bear to stay at YHS without you, or you drove them right out of the building. Whatever you want to think, it's fine. So, when I graduated from high school 5 years ago, why are you laughing? Okay. I was having a bad day when I graduated from high school. The day before, I'd gone to the beach with my friends to celebrate the end of the year and just kind of stroll down memory lane. And the day of graduation, I woke up with a wretched sunburn, 80% Scottish, so it was only on the front of my body, and at my graduation we didn't wear the caps and gowns, so I had nothing to hide behind. We wore little white dresses, and the boys, they wore suits and ties. So as I was walking into the ceremony in my little white dress, my day got worse, because behind me was Heather. And Heather had on a very similar dress, and I had never loved Heather. She was she was thin and beautiful and smart, and sophomore year she stole my boyfriend. And in fairness, I don't think he knew he was my boyfriend, but just the same. So worst of all though, she tanned like a Brazilian. So as we were walking down to Pomp and Circumstance, I actually tripped a little, and this is on video. And it wasn't a big trip, it was just a little one, just enough to hear my grandmother say, "For the love of God, Sarah." She was wonderful. So, it wasn't a great day, and my mom has a photo of that day that she keeps on her mantle. She insists upon it. And she took that photo as I was marching down the aisle. So what you see is a very red front, a very white back, and worst of all, I'm pouting, I'm not smiling, because I had pretty much chosen that the day was going to be bad. And instead of celebrating, I just focused on the negative. And there was a lot to celebrate that day. I was graduating from a 4-year, pretty rigorous prep school that my single mom had worked very hard to put me through. And more importantly, I had made it through 4 years of required athletics. And I faked shin splints through only 1 season. So there was a lot to celebrate, but I chose to pout, and so I hate that picture. But fortunately, Mom keeps a bunch of other pictures on her mantle, and I actually gave you guys a copy of one of them. It's under your chairs. And that one was taken 12 years earlier at another graduation. As you can see, I was no less awkward on that day. In fact, I was missing a tooth. I had a bowl cut, a dress with very large puff sleeves. But what you can see, and the reason why I gave this picture to you, is because I had a huge smile on my face. I was just so excited to be graduating, moving on to 1st grade, and it was a big deal. And I was pretty sure I was on my way to become a nun. That didn't happen, but the reason why I shared that photo with you guys is because that's what I wish for you. So even if you're not having a great day, even if you're missing a tooth, even if you trip a little, Mikey gets it. I want you to just focus on the joy and you can make it a good day. So I leave that picture with you, and a quote from one of my favorite awkward fellows, Andy Bernard from The Office, who said, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." So. Now I'm going to tell you guys another story, and this one is all about you, so I think you'll like it. It's called "Oh, the Places You've Been." And it's about the good old days. And when I put this together, I had to decide whether I wanted to make you laugh or cry, and I went for laughing. So please do. It's mostly at your expense, so enjoy. All right. Congratulations. This Thursday is your day. You've made it 4 years. It's time to be on your way. But before you go, let's take some time to remember the memories and let me rhyme rhymes. You've put facts in your head, boat shoes on your feet, bagel basket in your bellies, or St. Joe's if you're elite. You've been on your own, and you've traveled in packs, and you've been that guy who's upped his own yaks. Admitted Mercer, where's Mercer? You've looked up and down halls, lined with lockers to spare. About the art wing, you'd say, I'd choose to go there. And Fipsy would write you a pass for the day. But he'd write it out for Sally, or Dick, or Jane, because he knows 3 names of students, and they were the class of '85. Sorry, Mr. Phipps, if you're in here. Oh, the places you've been. Each day in the Commons, you've had a square meal. Even if it was gross, you got to spend time with Neil, who's in here somewhere. Love him. You made it through health class with Pettigrew or Brault. If you laughed at that diagram, it really wasn't your fault. You've stressed and you've sworn thanks to Freeman's hard tests. Just remember him as Dorothy and forget all the rest. You've listened and listened and listened to Barry. Love you, Barry. While he lectured or sang, his talents do vary. You've crunched numbers with Sim and her year-round flip-flops. Or maybe with Convery, with his Wolverine chops. It's questionable. You've survived vocab and Shakespeare with Tinnerman or Meserve, or public speaking with me, which got on your nerves. Right, Alec? Where's Alec? Man on a ledge. Oh, the places you've been. Your prom was lovely, and your outfits were too. And your homecoming dance had a nice ocean view. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly, it's true, that hang-ups and bang-ups have happened to you. If you fell at homecoming, like Dear Sweetie Lane, or used really gross words, like Frecker and Zane, or parked your car, like Mariah Massey, you've all kept it real, and you've kept it real classy. If it was 8:30 when you walked through the front door, don't worry, don't fret, because it was tardy number 4. No problem. No problem. No problem. All right. On you've gone when the weather's been dreary. On you've gone, though your legs got weary. On you've hiked up and down Mount A. At least 4 of you did on senior skip day. Not your best effort. Okay. And now you're the seniors, ultimate upperclassmen. But don't get too big in your britches, you're a rather awkward freshman. Right, Joe? He won enough awards last week, you can take it. Oh, the places you've been. Now here you sit in your caps and your gowns. You look like royalty, you need no crowns. And will you graduate? Yes, you will indeed. It's 98.75% guaranteed. So be your name Hannah, or Brandon, or Graham, or Grace, or Ivan, or Hunter, or Sam. It's certainly not Chris Cassidy. But you're off to great places, and the bestest best class to be. So that's the places you've been. So, about the places you're gonna go. I have a couple life rules, and I put them on the back of that awkward family photo that I shared with you guys so that you can carry them around. I try to live by these, and it's easy on some days and it's really hard on others. So the first rule is to never apologize for your success, because you're going to have a lot of it. You're gonna win hearts, and some days that's gonna be due to hard work, determination, luck, karma, or in the case of Alec Steffenberg, You knew this was coming. Like finally getting Eden to go out with him. It was just shameless and unrelenting persistence. I warned myself out. So when you're successful, here's what you're going to notice. Some people are going to be really happy for you. Those are great people. Other people are not going to be so happy for you. If you come by these successes honestly, I want you to just enjoy them and not apologize. Never apologize. There's always going to be haters, always. Unless you're Amanda Lilly. Nobody can hate her. But for the rest of us, just try to silence the haters and enjoy your win. So rule number 2 is to be happy for others. And if you can't be, then try to fake it. Someday your friend's going to be funnier than you, better looking, richer, smarter, and maybe someday you're going to come in second or lose, or maybe your arch nemesis is going to win the lottery, or maybe somebody named Heather is going to steal your not-so-boyfriend. I don't want you to let their success ruin your day. Okay, so be good sports and look at it as a victory for humankind. Rule number 3, take it easy on yourselves. You guys are going to make mistakes, big, embarrassing mistakes. So what I want you to do is just own them and move on. And sometimes owning them involves laughing at yourself. A lot of times that's the best way to own a mistake, depending on what kind it is. Sometimes you need to apologize, which is hard. Sometimes you need to just learn from it and then move on. But what I don't want you to do is blame other people, or blame just bad luck, or blame the universe. Just own it and do better next time. Rule number 4. You guys are going to run into some irksome folks. You already have, because it's tourist season in York. So whether it's the person who's blocking all the traffic by the beach, or whether it's your future roommate who uses all your shampoo, or your sibling who rats you out, or your parents who get mad that you don't call them enough. They would never do that, but I don't know, show them some compassion, because you never know what kind of day they've had. And also, you guys can be irksome too sometimes, some more than others. And other days, sorry, so cliche. Henry David.